Hello? Oh, Miss Arwell. Thank you for calling. I take it the books have arrived. Yes, well, I know it's quite the collection. Think nothing of it. No, it's better they're with you. I have no intention of going to South America again. Never again. Well, goodbye then. Bertie, have you seen Annabelle? I haven't seen her all day. I believe she went to check something in the attic. She heard some noise. Thought it might be a rat or worse, raccoons. You want I should go check on her, sir? Would you? That would be awfully kind. Thank you, Bertie. Bertie, be careful up there. Of course, sir. Don't worry, I know this old house like the back of my hand. Previously on the Cracked and Crook'd Manse.
Well, there was a horrible murder at that house. It spooked people, you know.
Listen, out-of-towner. I'm the law here, and I can tell you the Dodge brothers asked me to look at that house. The feller ain't there.
There appears to be a lot of plant growth, but absolutely no animal life.
Well, I'm just jumping at shadows, gentlemen. Gentlemen?
And just reach out and touch the book that you feel drawn to.
But your other hand makes contact with something unnatural.
So I back up right to the banister, and I go for, rather than the casual thing, I go for a Sparta kick.
The walls seem to shift.
As he's saying this, I realize that I'm thinking about the vines that seemed to come from the subterranean location.
As soon as you start speaking, you look up the stairs, and on the top of the landing is the silhouette of possibly a man holding a gun. You hold it right there.
I want to shout up, Sheriff Whitford, it's us. We spoke earlier.
I know it's you, dumbass.
Well, you fancy putting that gun away so we can talk? You knew we were coming up here.
What's going on in here?
Well, we're carrying out. We're doing our job as put to us by the Dodge brothers. We're checking.
Smashing up the stairs.
We are conducting an investigation.
We didn't smash nothing up. There was. You can see the place is rotten. There's so much water damage. Luckily our friend here's fine, but he fell through. It was rotting away, and very lucky he didn't hurt himself.
It is a serious public health hazard.
Well, that's why I don't like members of the public getting in here.
I don't know much about the law, Sheriff, but, and I say this actually, and I cast a glance to Palmer very deliberately. But might we ask what you're doing here? Were you also asked by the Dodge brothers to investigate?
It's my duty to make sure people in this town are safe.
To keep the peace?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And we're looking for someone who's missing. Are you looking for someone who's missing too?
I'm just here to make sure you're not up to any no good.
Mr. Palmer, forgive me, Mr. Palmer, but would this count as a sort of an obstacle to our purpose here?
Well, no, I wouldn't have thought so.
Are you sure about that, Mr. Palmer? Because I don't know, and I'd be in your hands on this matter.
Are you saying that loud enough that he can hear as well?
I suppose she's dropping her voice slightly on that point. But,
I was just wondering.
yeah, she's a cards all on the table kind of gal.
Yeah.
Woman.
What I'd like to do is sort of hands in the air, obviously, just step out to the bottom of the stairs and say, hey, we're on the same side here. We're not going to cause you any trouble. You can help us look around if you like, but we're almost done here. We haven't seen anything, so we'll be on our way soon anyway.
Really? You got through it all that quick, huh? Or was it just there was nothing left of value?
Oh, I think there's some stuff of value. There's a room upstairs that seemed to have some valuable things in, but that's not our interest.
Yeah, I noticed. Looks like someone's kicked the door off its hinges.
Yeah, drifters often don't know the wealth of things they don't understand, I suppose. But, Yeah. I want to do a psychology roll on him, really. Is that
Yeah.
allowable? Because
Yeah, but I think I'll also need a fast talk roll.
Okay, yeah. So my fast talk is the bullshitting about the door. Hey, but our only business here, surely that shows you is, it's,
Well, in that case, I'd accept a persuade instead of fast talk.
my persuade's slightly better, so I might go persuade.
Okay. Yeah.
12 on a 61 persuade.
Ooh.
Okay.
So extreme success.
And by all means, a psychology roll.
Yeah.
What are you trying to find out?
Well, I want to see, obviously he's at the top of the stairs, it's dimly lit and everything, but I want to just see if I can tell by his tone of voice whether there's an implicit threat or he can be won round.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to sort of know if he's here to antagonize or threaten, or he's being genuine when he says, "What are you doing smashing the place up? I knew you'd be trouble," you know?
Yeah.
And that's a fail. Not a fumble. I can't tell, I suppose.
Well, his face remains completely set, so you're not sure what he's really about still. But he says he sort of seems a little bit more thoughtful momentarily after you've sort of made your argument, and he says, "Well, listen, I guess if you're not robbing the place blind, I'd just like to make sure that there's going to be no more broken doors or broken banisters or smashed glass."
Absolutely.
All right, then. Well, listen, I took the liberty of popping into Haggerty's boarding house. They said you never checked in, so I presume you're staying here the night.
Well, hopefully it won't come to that. There's not that many more rooms to look through. We were, I think, planning on driving back and perhaps staying the night there tonight, yeah? So.
Well, just in case, I brought you some food in case you get stuck here.
Well, much obliged.
Starts coming down the stairs.
Very kind. I have a question, if you don't mind.
Shoot.
What time did you arrive? How long have you been here in the house?
I arrived about 10 minutes ago. Why?
Could I do a psychology or check on that to see whether he really did?
I think I might join that party. I mean, maybe we all should. Is he telling the truth?
I just failed mine, so I feel it might be a bit cheeky, but...
That's just a regular success on my psychology.
And mine is a hard success.
Might not have been exactly 10 minutes, but yeah, recent.
He hasn't been like lying in wait in the house all day.
45 minutes.
No. You get the impression as well that if he'd been here earlier, he might have intervened.
Yeah.
In fact, you get the sense that he's only upstairs because he was looking for where you were.
Right, that's good to know, yeah. So as he walks down the stairs, there's no, he's got feet, right? It's not tentacles or...
Yeah. In fact, he seems quite keen to leave.
Yeah, well, who can blame him?
So he walks to the front door. He walks straight past you to the front door and he says, I'll be 2 minutes. Feel free to carry on. I guess I'll leave some things in the kitchen for you.
Much obliged.
Did he tell us why he was here? Why he'd come? Was it just check in on us?
That's what he said. That's what he implied, anyway.
Swid said we were coming up this way, so I guess that checks out.
It makes sense for a vengeful cop, right? Because that's what we've kind of got him down as. He does seem to be, thus far, he seems to be kind of what he says he is. On that point, Damien goes over to Palmer, just behind Palmer. How tall are you?
I'm not sure. Size 60.
Oh, yeah, I'm saying no slouch.
Yeah.
And build is probably you're quite stocky, aren't you?
Yeah, he's pretty, muscular.
But she's still towering above you by about 6 inches.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So she leans down to your ear and just says, "Doesn't he need a warrant or something? Or have I watched too many talkies?"
A wand? Like a wizard?
I said a warrant.
Oh.
Don't make me say this again. He'll hear us.
Sorry.
Does he actually say a wand like a wizard? Because I will roll a cult. And my whole opinion of Palmer will change.
And we'll suddenly be playing D&D.
Because there was old Wizard Oakley. Down by the marshes. He was up to no good.
There's a good question. Do you know? I don't know what your knowledge of...
I've whispered this. He'd have to do a listen check to hear it.
Sorry.
No, I should roll for that, actually, because I've got some lore. Does sound
I'm
like
pimping you out.
I
I'm pimping you out.
Yeah, I think I was just assuming as me that the sheriff's sort of got the, ability to
Sure. Oh,
do
sure.
what they want. But is it worth rolling law, Dom?
If you want to.
I mean, you are a union man.
Yeah, 11 on a 30 law.
Sweet.
Law's not.
I mean, me as the keeper, not too sure about this, but
Yeah.
I guess that it's not actually your house, and he might have the permission of the Dodge brothers to come down here. He's certainly been down here on their behest before, so
Right.
Yeah,
and he's not actually impeding you. He's not stopping you.
true.
He's actually, by the looks of things, he's put this gruff front on, but in terms of his actions, speaking louder than his words, what he's done is check you're okay and brought you some food.
That was the softener, wasn't it? Yeah.
In a sense, it feels like perhaps he's glad we're doing the job that he's too scared to.
Possibly.
Okay. Well, my instinct as Danann is to immediately go to a window and spy on what he's doing outside. But I'm not going to do that because I don't think Sebastian is that suspicious anymore. So I think I say, shall we check on a couple more of these rooms we haven't looked in yet?
Why don't we check these stores directly opposite?
While those two are saying that, Damien is moving over to window to see what this guy's doing as he's leaving.
Aha.
Okay. So by the door directly opposite, you mean...
The ones to the... So there's two doors to the south of the dining room. Let's go for the one nearest the front door. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I'm only doing that while they're talking. I'm not doing that instead of going to join them.
Yeah. But which window are you going to?
Nearest one.
So you'd probably have to go into the room they're going into anyway.
Right, nice.
Look through that window.
Nice.
So, in which case, let's see. You walk into a small but well-furnished study. It's quite cosy in here. The damp is perhaps not quite as bad as everywhere else. There's a wingback chair, a standing lamp, bookcase, there's a roll-top desk, sort of writing desk, bureau, whatever. And in fact, there's a book open on it. It looks like it looks a bit knackered, actually, the book on the desk.
I'd like to go straight to the book on the desk, unless anyone else gets there first.
No, I think if that's where you're headed, I'm probably just sort of scanning in general.
I'm scanning the room.
Yeah. I might do a little spot hidden just to see if there's...
Yeah, spot hidden appropriate for the other two of us?
What are you looking for?
I'm going to try and see if... Because I still have this thing in my head that it's possible vagrants or hobos have used this place. It's odd for a huge house not to have some visitors, as it were. So, and since this room seems slightly less damp, perhaps it's a good candidate for where... So I'm scanning to see if there's any signs of recent activity, basically. I still don't want to be jumped out at with a chair leg,
And I'm narrowing my eyes, and I'm looking for that fountain pen I've just laid my eyes on.
Yeah.
And I walk over to it and I put it in my pocket.
Huh.
It's a very nice fountain pen.
Well, I do study it and then I put it in my pocket.
And Seb Palmer, you're going to do a spot hidden, are you?
Yeah, I just failed it though.
Well, it doesn't look like this. It doesn't look like this room's been disturbed at all.
No.
And out the window, you can see once you open the shutter, you can see through the vine leaves the creeping ivy that's dangling down the window. You can see Sheriff Whitford walking to his car. He's parked it facing yours on the driveway. He opens the passenger door and he takes out two small brown bags and he brings them into the house. You can hear the door go.
I think I'll come back out of the room to meet him in the atrium or whatever that big hall is.
He says, "Oh, here you go.
Thank you. Much
Hope
obliged.
you like ham sandwiches."
Oh, I love them. Just like Mother used to make, eh? Well, I mean, you're welcome to join us if that's your thing, but I'm sure you're busy. You're welcome.
His eyes sort of scan the house, and then he says, "I got a lot on down at the station, so I should get on."
No, I'm sure. Well, good day to you, and I'm sure we'll bump into each other again tonight or tomorrow. We'll call in and let you know if we find anything, obviously.
Yeah, you keep me informed.
Will do. Thank you, officer.
Good luck. And he leaves. A few moments later, you hear his car start, and it... Bum, 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 bum.
And it blows up.
He drives off.
I regret not making better friends with him. Oh well. Maybe
I
next.
think I was just relieved he wasn't a possessed fiend and then just let our best ally disappear. But we've got ham sandwiches. So at that point, I think
What time is
go
it?
into the oh, yeah.
It's, so it's probably about 5.
So it'll still be getting dark relatively soon because we're January, right?
February.
Yeah.
Oh, February, yeah.
Or 4. Let's say it's 4. 4 o'clock.
Okay, cool. I'm happy to keep searching these rooms. I might eat a ham sandwich and wander to the next room on the right.
Who was the doctor? You were looking at the book, were you?
Please.
So you see that it is The Missing People, The Tribe That the Jungle Swallowed by Thomas Pratt.
Oh.
I think I asked for it in the library when it was first mentioned by Susan Arwell. But I will accept another anthropology role. You might have done one before on this subject, but...
Tribes that the jungle swallowed. Yes, I think I was somewhat preoccupied in the library. Maybe I did not get a conversation with the librarian, but now it's in front of me. It comes back to me. That it does not come back to me. But if I struggle to remember something, there's really a few options I can take. And one of them is, many of them are chemical. And I go into my bag and see what I can find in terms of
I'll go ketamine.
prescription.
Imagine you rolling it out like, one of those, like, it's all needles.
Medication. I think
Don't know what this one is.
something that sort of opens the doors to perception a little.
Oh,
I don't know,
mescaline.
maybe.
Got any mescaline?
Ayahuasca.
Yeah, I don't know. Is he like his own mescaline or ayahuasca? I mean,
Oh, ayahuasca maybe. I'm not sure eras-wise, actually.
Going on a fucking spirit journey.
does laudanum have a mild hallucinogenic effect, or just knock you out?
Yeah, no, it does. Well, it's liquid opium,
mean-
isn't it, essentially?
Back then, absinthe still had hallucinogenic effects because they had the wormwood.
Wormwood in it.
Yeah. Okay. So he's gonna go for the laudanum, which maybe a mistake.
How cutting edge are you?
Or in terms of my
Yeah, in terms of your practice, are you really right on the brink of genius?
No, I don't think so.
He's just fucked up.
1919, mescaline has been become common use. 1896 discovery.
yeah.
Peyote.
Okay. Well then, thanks to that, I
Thanks,
think maybe
Google.
he does have a little bit of mescaline in his case. He's got a whole load of things that might help. How would I ingest mescaline in 1925?
Would you have it in paper form, like they do sort of LSD?
Or like a
Would you have a vial of the liquid
like a drop?
Yeah, it might be like a tea pipette.
I think he might
Yeah.
he might just put a drop
the
of
tongue?
it under the tongue.
Yeah,
Oh, right, to get that back in there in the saliva glands.
yeah.
That little
That's what you want.
bitter kick,
Yeah.
bitter, slightly funky kick, I assume.
I couldn't possibly.
And I have another look at this book. I just stare at it, just stare at the name on the cover and wait. Just speak to me.
Fucking do that.
No, that's a really bad fail. That's a shame. That's bad luck because
I mean,
my anthropology is quite good.
It could be worse. If you fumble a mescaline roll, I've heard bad things can happen.
Yeah, it's not a fumble.
But it is a failure on a pushed roll.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot it was pushed.
You're still sane, though, right?
Well, currently.
This is you saying.
Yeah, I am. I've lost quite a bit of sanity, but just 1 point at a time, so I'm okay.
Oh, that's fine then.
Yeah.
That's just life.
Gradual descent.
You're looking at this book and you're thinking, Pratt, Thomas Pratt, where have you heard that? You start to remember a lecture about him. Him coming up in a lecture at some point and someone poo-pooing him because he's on the very fringes of what is accepted science.
Ah, a man after my own heart. Heart.
Indeed.
A man after my own... I can't say that word in a German accent. A man after my own heart.
That was good.
Use that one.
And just as you think that, you look up and you think you see through the window. Seb Palmer, you can hear him. He's been outside talking to Whitford. You see Whitford get in his car and drive off. Rose is turning away from the window as this happens, and you happen to look up, and between two trees, in the distance, sort of away to one corner, the very edge of what you can see through the window, you see a figure crossing the garden. He's in a blue, what looks to be a military uniform. He's carrying something long over his shoulder.
Oh, fuck.
And it just disappears behind the trees.
Who was it that saw that? Johannes?
Yeah.
Something long over his shoulder. That's a horrible description.
Yeah.
Yeah. A sort of, looked a bit like an axe.
Thought it might.
And actually looked exactly like whatever that thing was that attacked you in the library.
Could I do an intelligence roll? No, could I do a sanity roll?
Could I do some more mescaline?
Could I do a sanity roll to find out whether I realise that is a hallucination brought on? Is that fair? Because it was pushed?
Yes. Yeah, well, I was going to ask for a sanity roll anyway on the back of that, so yeah.
Well,
So if you...
I mean, literally, I'm going to send some words in the chat. We'll just carry on.
It's a sanity roll because he's just seen an apparition that attacked him in the library.
but I know I've just taken some mescaline. I'm going to do the sanity roll.
But
I mean, it's academic because I just rolled a 97.
Fuck.
well, there it is. How much sanity are you on at the moment?
I'm on 52. 52.
Close. Very close. Yeah, it's too close, really.
Too close to
well, you lose a sanity point. And what Rose witnesses is Dr. Bergman suddenly leaps to his feet and screams, "Pratt! Pratt!" out the window, and then seems to control himself again.
I come back in.
And without speaking, he just sits back down and looks at the book as if he hadn't even noticed he'd done it.
I think instinctively I leap away into the corner of the room as far as I can get, using my grand jeté. Exactly, and I think my arms are up, slightly insect-like length of limb.
I come back into the room and you're just pinned to the ceiling corner.
And yeah, exactly. And I'm sort of staring at him in horror. Nice. And I say, as you're coming through the door, I say, I think the doctor might be onto something. I mean, he's certainly on something.
Yeah. Hey, Doc, you find anything interesting?
Oh, the book is impenetrable, but I'm slightly concerned about the man who has been following us.
Oh, the policeman?
No. The man in army uniform.
Yeah, this is the first time hearing of it.
Could I do a psychology check on this statement? Is he telling the truth, or is he making something up? And that is a good pass. Nothing great.
He seems to believe what he's saying, but you also detect that he's possibly
medicated,
over-medicated.
Yeah, he's on something, right?
Is that the fellow you were shouting at, Pratt?
Well, I'm not entirely sure whether it's Pratt. I don't know whether he was an army man himself, but he has something to do with it. There's no doubt about that.
What sort of uniform?
It was it like a Civil War uniform?
Yeah.
It was a blue Civil War uniform.
Oh, Yankees.
Well,
yes.
At least they were on the right side.
Well, yeah.
Well, yes. Carrying something large over his shoulder. I thought I saw him in the library earlier today and dismissed it as some sort of vision. But to see him again outside the house, well, I wonder whether we should go in chase or just be aware that he is out there tracking us, perhaps, and be on our guard.
I'm going to do a psychology roll as well at this point. That is a 7 on a 45, so that's an extreme success.
Yeah, I mean, he's on something.
Yeah. Okay. I've seen this. I think I've seen not this, but I've seen people like high on fumes working in like glue factories and shit like that. It's clear his like the way he's talking is just off. Like, and I think it's substance. Okay, Doc. Well, hey, we'll keep our wits about us, right?
This is it. This is all just to keep our wits. And if you see this strange fellow in the blue uniform with carrying a large,
absolutely,
some sort of weapon.
Wait a moment, gentlemen. Didn't Cohen's reign of this place end around the time of the end of the Civil War? Wasn't it? Let me see here. I recall that, didn't someone mention August 16th, 1865? Isn't that around the time of the end of the Civil War? My history isn't terribly good in terms of dates. I don't have to focus on that sort of thing.
No, my American history is also very poor. Very, very poor.
Well, that's understandable, Doctor. You're not from our country.
No.
Luckily, Mr. Palmer will be able to tell us in a moment, I'm sure.
Well, that sounds about
Irish.
Right. I mean, I'm Irish. Hey, Irish-American, same thing, huh? I'm not sure. I think you're right in terms of dates, but I can't remember being told when the Cohen's reign ended. As you say, they said about 30 years ago, the Cohens met their fate, and then was it 60 years ago?
It was the Fitzgerald murder, was it?
Yes, the Fitzgerald murders were in 1865, and then Cohen was 1895. But I expect this fellow, who I have seen out on 2 occasions, is maybe some military reenactment participant.
Well, you get all sorts. I tell you what, if he's a military reenactment fella, makes sense he's hanging around here. Just don't get too trigger happy, huh?
I'm not so convinced. The doctor here has been in touch with forces beyond our understanding. We take a moment, gentlemen.
Well, okay.
In the dance, you don't ask a question when the gods bless you with an insight. You can seem insane to others when they're watching, but sometimes you gotta grasp that. Otherwise, you ain't gonna dance the true dance. You understand me? You have to give yourself over to the insight.
This is very true.
Yeah.
And Sebastian, you have had experience of this just a short hour ago when you discovered the scroll in the library. You had to give yourself over, didn't you?
I'm not saying this place is haunted, but holy hell, if there was a place that seems haunted, it is this place. Now what if, the doctor's, forgive me, Doctor, hallucination is actually an insight to a place just beyond our own? Well, they used to talk of this back where I came from. There were certain individuals, mostly old women in the community, who used to have an ability to be able to see beyond the veil, as my mama used to call it.
As this is happening, I just get out my rosaries and start
Well, exactly.
thumbing them.
Do they look valuable?
The rosary beads.
Yeah, are they
They're black wood.
just blackwood?
Little silver on the cross, but nothing like.
I think you both see a gleam cross Rosalie Damien's eyes, and then she sort of shakes it off slightly with a toss of her crazy hair.
I finished my Hail Mary and put them away.
It's such a weird image of this woman.
Now you are talking my language, Miss Damien. Now, obviously, as I've said on numerous occasions, I do not believe there are such a thing as ghosts, but certainly there are energies, and the human mind may harness hitherto untapped resources to see beyond what the normal human comprehends. Perhaps I have been stimulated to see, as you say, beyond this plane. Maybe I should take a little bit more. And I take my little pipette out.
Christ.
I as he says, as if it's all the same to you, I lunge forward, grab his arm, and I say, "It may easily have been the pain, Doctor. I've known girls dance the best dances of their lives. They take their shoes off and their feet are bleeding. One of them even broke toes. And it seemed to give her something. You fell off a staircase, Doctor. It might have snapped something open in your senses, combined with this. If it's all right with you, I'll just still be holding his arm. But if you're going to pull.
Yes, you make a very good point. I put the pipette down. Is there a letter opener on the desk?
Give me a luck roll.
That is brilliant. I really hope he passes this.
Keep this man away from sharp objects.
Pass my luck. Yeah, pass my luck.
Yeah, there's a nice. It's a nice pewter. That it's in the shape of a short sword.
I grab it and jab it through my hand.
And I'm so horrified that I definitely don't react in time.
I want to lunge forwards. Grab the pipette, the jar of that shit, and stick it in my pocket, and then sort of try and just keep him in one place. Like one hand on his hand that's stabbed, and one hand on his shoulder, going, Doc, what the hell are you doing, man? You stabbed yourself through the hand. Did you like put it to the table or something? Like, Doc.
So you lose a hit point.
Fucking hell.
Oh, it's maybe, as she says, the pain that helps me see.
No, just stay still. Stay still. Okay? I'm going to pull it out slowly. Okay?
All right.
Miss Demienne, have you got some fabric, something to bandage up this Doc? Surely you got something in your bag?
Yes, no, allow me. And she,
I'm not that kind of doctor.
Yeah,
she
clearly.
starts ripping. She rips some of the lining out of this jacket that she's already ostensibly stolen.
Yeah. Okay, so, Doc, 3, 2, 1. And I want to pull it out. Quick, now, rap.
I will start applying first aid.
Freestyle rap.
We find ourselves in a terrible castle. Not a castle, really. It's actually a house. That's terrible.
I think we should have a freestyle rap in every episode.
It wasn't even a rap. It's literally in the School of Night. That's the worst thing they call me on sometimes, and I fucking die. First aid, on the other hand, I have a classic 33%, Dominic, keeper of the Manse of Mansions of Madness.
It's not bad odds.
And actually, I rolled a 0-4. It's my best roll of the night.
Amazing. Well, you get your hit point back.
While he's being administered this medical treatment, can I'm damage control in my head. I've pocketed that mescaline stuff. Is his bag nearby? I want to see if I can see where his gun is. If it's not on him, is it in his bag, or is it in a holster, or is it tucked into his belt? And B, is there any more drugs that I can... while he's distracted, having his hand bandaged up and everything, I want to take as much danger out of his hands as possible.
Well, I don't know where his gun is. Is it in the bag, or is it in your purse?
That's on me.
Cool. Where? Well, tucked into your belt, like a gangster.
Is it, or is it? I think it might be just in a pocket. I think it might just be in my pocket.
Jacket pocket. Okay. In which case, I won't try and take that off you because it might cause more harm than good. But I will pocket any more drugs if there's that roll of drugs that
need.
There's quite a lot in there. There's a whole sort of doctor's bag of.
Okay, I think I see that, and I'm like, okay, fuck it. I can't pocket all this. I'll just keep an eye on him. So I've just got the mescaline, but the rest of it, I guess, is still there.
Fine. I mean, you can take it. I think I'm probably distracted by the pain, so I think you can probably.
Yeah.
Madame Damienne, how's he looking? Does he need he'll need stitches, I'm sure. Won't he, Johannes? Fucking hell.
No, it's I think it's superficial, right, Rose?
I believe so.
Went through his hand.
Of course it did, yes. I hope that it's something that you can recover from, Doctor.
Of course.
Do you feel that you can? Do you feel that you can use it?
Well,
tendons or ligaments cut.
I use the hand or use the pain, harness the pain, as you say.
Let's focus on the hand.
I suppose we do mean the hand to start.
I think the hand still has. I expect the full range of movement. And I run over to the window to see if I let me see if this has, as you say, the pain has enlightened me in any way.
Can I just say, if he's running to the window, I'm immediately going to try and grab him.
Oh, not running. Sorry.
Okay. Because Because I'm assuming you're going to headbutt the glass, but okay, fine.
No. I'm just moving to the window to have a look out the window to see if I can see this figure again.
Okay.
Is it fair to say that as you move, not in a running manner, but in a certain kind of inspired fashion, the two of us shadow you, and we just sort of go towards the window with you either side? I do let go of your hand, slightly
Hands off
reluctantly. I was thinking about sticking my thumb in the wound and seeing if it would have any effect, but now I'm going to ditch that because you seem to be perfectly willing on your own.
You see no sign of this figure.
Well, now I must confess I feel a little foolish. And I take out my hip flask and just take a little sip of vodka and put it away again and light a cigarette.
Did you want to read this book, by the way? Do you read the book?
You still haven't read it yet.
Not that I'm trying to shepherd you in any way. I just maybe didn't draw enough attention to it earlier.
No, I suppose I might eventually find my way back to the desk and pick up the book again.
I'll tell you this. It's in very poor condition.
Well thumbed.
You can see in the front it's got Arthur Cornthwaite's name written in it. It also has a stamp from the Gamwell Library that looks more recent. Yeah. The binding is cracked. It's covered in odd stains. Some of the pages are actually a bit loose. It looks like it's been, read over and over again quite thoroughly. Now, if you want to skim it, I'd need an English language roll. Alternatively, if you're going to take your time, there's been no roll required, but it'll take a few hours to read it.
Well, I am feeling a little bit sort of foolish and ashamed of what's just taken place. So I think I might suggest to the others that I might say I feel this book is maybe has some significance to this case. This clearly was the book that Cornthwaite took. There's the last book he took from the library, and this looks very well read. Has his name in. I would like to study this in some detail, if you don't mind. Why don't I sit down and look through it and leave you to continue your search through the house? I'll be here, and Mr. Palmer, you've taken my bags that you obviously feel is I'm not safe to be left with, and
Doug,
I understand.
I'm just, I think you may have had, enough for now.
No, I quite agree. So, as I say, I feel a little ashamed of my actions just now. It's not how I wish to carry myself, and maybe I should just have some quiet time with a book and a cigarette.
We all have our moments. Madame Damien, would you mind maybe staying with the doc for a couple of minutes? I'll clean out the last couple of rooms on the ground floor.
No, I'm not sure how comfortable I feel about you being on your own, Mr. Palmer.
Oh, I can handle myself.
No, please, I don't need to be babysat. I'm quite all right.
Okay. Well, I pocket the letter opener, but try and do it subtly. And I've got the bag, so I take that with me. And I say, okay, Doc, well, yeah, rest up. Rest the best cure, my mother always said. I walk with Palmer to the door, and then I fall into his arms in a swoon. Jeez. You all right there, Russell?
Well, I'm so sorry. I think it was the sight of all that blood. Do you know what? I might just sit down, and then I look at you, Palmer, with an intense gaze of, I might just sit down for a moment. It might not be such a bad idea to stay with the doctor.
Of course. Doc, you'll keep an eye on Miss Damien here, won't you? I think she's feeling a bit faint.
Of course.
It'll just be a moment. Perhaps if I could just have a little nip of something that... how much have you got that left? That left, Doctor?
Absolutely, there's enough for you to have a little nip, and I will be your knight in shining armour. And
Okay,
I
great.
take out my Luger and put it very meaningfully on the desk in front of me. And I have
Oh,
cigarettes, Luger, book, vodka.
I fish around in the bag and I want to find something along the lines of like smelling salts or something. Just like if there's anything like that, just pop them down and be like, okay, I'll only be 2 seconds. I'll come check in and
I'll take them and I'll put them in my pocket.
and I leave the room. And as soon as I turn the corner, I've got my rosaries in my hand again. I'm saying, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the woman without.
So the two of you that are left in the room, do you want to try a roll on this to see if you can skim it in an hour?
I'd like to. So, what are my options? Skim it or read it?
You can read it without a roll, but it'll take much longer. Or you can skim it. It'll take about an hour, but you'll need to pass an English language roll. But I'll give you a bonus die for the concentrating power of the pain in your hand.
Great. I will attempt that then.
Hey kids, finding revision tough? Stab yourself in the hand and take some mescaline.
Throw yourself in the hand with a letter opener. Take some coke, some amphetamine, some mescaline, a few fags.
Everyone will be doing it on campus next year.
That's all the rage.
There'll be a spate of it.
Better than Tide Pods.
Yeah. Am I right?
Am I right?
They do taste nice.
Okay, right. So, minty fresh. I'm going to spend some luck. I'm going to spend... Oh, it's a lot of luck. But I don't think I can afford to push anything anymore. It's going very, very bad.
Your pushes have been
drugs.
bad.
And I think he only knows one way how to push things, and he's taken all his drugs. Oh, unless I dig my thumb into the wound in my hand, like as you suggested.
Or you could run over to the window and smash that with your fist, cut yourself with the glass a bit.
Maybe I do want to... If I push it, I can't use luck on it, can I? Or can I?
No, you can't.
Okay, I'm going to spend my luck now, even though it's quite a lot of luck. I'm going to spend 13 points of luck.
Oh, that's doable.
Yeah.
It's doable.
So
I haven't spent
insane.
any luck yet.
I mean, what are you on? What are you on after that?
I'm now on 40. It's fine. It's not like...
You're laughing.
People start with
So, yes, so I have passed my English language roll. It's not his first language, remember?
Well, I'll tell you a few things in a second.
Yeah.
First, let's see where Sebastian... Is Rose doing anything while she's in that room? Sat with the doctor?
I think for the first 15 minutes, she's just watching him to make sure that things are okay.
Fine.
But after 15 minutes, I think she'll probably get up and start looking through the rest of the study to see if there's anything else of any value.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rose can give me a spot hidden roll.
That's a 0-1. If it's in here, I found it.
The motherload.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's my two best rolls.
Do you know what? You might have found it even if it's not in here.
Yeah, obviously I will stray over to the door and look in corridors at a distance, see if there's anything we missed, because I am bored.
Some major clue in a different room may have rematerialised.
I'm like a tiger, trapped in a tiny study, looking to drink all the water in the tap.
A tentacle-headed old one emerges.
I go completely insane.
So I'll deal with what you actually find in a moment. So where does Sebastian Palmer go?
So I want to go to the right first. That seems most appropriate because there's that room bottom right corner that we've not been in, right?
So the first door on your right,
Yeah.
come out of the study. Okay.
The dining room's opposite us, and then I want to go.
Yeah. So this room that you walk into, it's quite a large room, and it is filled with junk. It seems to be being used as some sort of storeroom. There's boxes, barrels, crates, all piled up in big sort of like little mounds all around the room, all up the walls. In the centre of the floor, there's a large area that looks a bit mouldy.
Avoid.
Yeah. What do you do?
I want to just do a circuit of the room. I'm going to open the blinds. There's 3 windows, right? So I'm going to go around opening the shutters as I've done in every other room.
What's your size?
60. So.
Can you give me a jump roll, please?
Oh shit! Where's my jump? Oh, it's all. Oh, it's not all right. It's shit. I failed.
Literally, you've both had jump rolls.
You walk blithely across the middle of the room to open the shutters, and you suddenly hear this splintering of wood and this sort of
crunch, and then you realise the floor is just caves in underneath you. You try to leap, smack the side of the remaining floor and fall through, landing you in a heap in pitch darkness. And you take...
Now's not the time to be finicky about saying I would do a perimeter of the room, but then I blithely walk to the centre. But that's fine. Maybe it's rotted throughout.
Well, you said you went and opened the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just scared, that's all. It's going to be fucking Audrey 2 down there.
I've got even worse news for you. You lose 5 hit points in the fall.
Ooh, that's bad.
Fall very badly. You fall sort of on your knee.
Oh, not on the knee.
Anything on the knee's terrible.
Kind of smart in the morning.
Yeah.
If we see the morning.
I don't think I will be.
How far did he fall?
Quite far.
Yeah.
And you fall onto your knees onto a pile of coal.
Fucking hell.
Which you roll down and then bang into the wall. It's a bit damp in here as well. There's
There's a surprise.
There's water damage all up the wall. The walls are cold and clammy and wet. And now there's also a pile of debris from the collapsed ceiling above you.
Okay.
It's a small room with a door in the north wall. And I tell you what, Rose and the doctor can give me a listen roll.
Ah, well, I'm good at listening.
Moments before, I've just said, and I meant to mention to him that I'm a little concerned about those vines we saw climbing up from the cellar.
Yeah.
No.
My dice are loaded. I've just rolled a 0-4. What the fuck is going on?
Oh, sick.
I mean, this is my lucky die, but that's my second 0-4 of the night, guys. I'm a bit nervous. Should I start recording them? I can record them if you like.
Can you load my dice?
You're loaded enough, Doctor.
Yeah.
What did you get, Dan?
Well, fail, regular fail.
Oh, fine. So you're so absorbed in this book, you don't hear anything.
Yeah, figures.
Rose, on the other hand, you've been looking through the room. You open a drawer and you take out a flyer. It looks like a very old flyer, and it's inviting people to attend to come to an expedition or to apply to be part of an expedition in South America. It's from a few years ago. An expedition in Peru, and it's being led by
No.
you guessed it.
No.
Augustus Larkin.
No.
No more sanity, right? Oh no, I don't. It's fine.
No.
There's a chance roll sound.
We roll sanity.
I'm not just getting deja vu, I'm just getting the shits up me. Terrible expression. Okay.
And it's paper clipped to a slip of paper with some notes. It's just little dates of, when the expedition was meant to start, when they set off from Lima, when they were meant to arrive in Puno, other details, little details, names. There's a list of names. And then you hear in the next room, you hear this and this.
Literally seconds after finding that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
I stand to my full 6'6", and
You're getting taller and taller.
My full 8 foot.
I think I make her height up every time, don't I? 7'9". 6'2". 6'2", I think I said.
9. If you were 7'9", people would have to roll sanity. And it's borderline as it is.
Playing a Stephen Merchant.
Every time you describe her, you add some more detail that just raises questions.
I just imagine that she just doesn't walk like a human. She just
No.
lunges everywhere,
gazelle.
pirouettes, like squats.
I've got a really weird image of her.
She is odd.
It's really disturbing.
Very Suspiria.
Yeah.
But also, okay, you've rumbled me, guys. I don't know who this person is. She's just a bunch of freakish attributes that I've thrown together.
I love it.
Dice were so random.
Beautiful.
I think
Anyway.
she swings dramatically like a mutated spaniel towards the doctor, who isn't reacting, and she says, "Doctor, did you hear that?"
I don't even hear you ask me that.
And with that sort of moment, I think she decides unconsciously aware that everything could pivot on this moment, but unfortunately that's the kind of moment that really attracts Rosalie Damiens. She tosses the flyer onto the desk and says, "I'll be right back. I think I heard some." And then she's out of the door, dashing over to where she thinks she heard the sound last.
Well, with your extreme success, it takes you straight into the room next door. And as you step through, you see that it is, as I described, full of junk and boxes and piles of crates. And in the middle of the room, a large hole that stretches so far that even if you were walking around the perimeter of the room, you'd fall into it.
Yeah, all right.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's how it's done.
Nicely done.
Well, I'll just make some notes there.
So, yeah. And
is Larkin in the room? Can I see Larkin? Oh, no. Different. Just a little flashback.
Not yet.
Not yet. So I look... I think I hiss. Palmer, are you down there?
Do I hear this?
Oh, yeah.
Yes!
I think at that moment I look into the darkness of this pit, but the fact that the very ground can give way underneath you, I have a real sense of the way in which the floor supports the dancer, and I no longer have access to that floor. In my mind's eye, I'm imagining whether I can jump the whole distance from this side of the gaping black miasmic maw into the below and reach the other side in a single bound. And I know that I can't, but I also know that there's something horrible about a mouth that goes into the ground. And although I've heard this yes come up from Sebastian Palmer, I also become aware that in that moment, everything is changing about how I feel about this house. And I now wish to understand whether the doctor is right, whether there is a ghost here. Because I'm thinking there might be. Because my mama used to talk about ghosts. She said that she saw one once in a blue ball, a haze of light leading out across the bayou. And she followed it at a time, but she didn't find nothing at the end of that trail, and the story always said that you would. Others, of course, say that it's just marshlight, it's just gases being released and being lit by the energy of some such. I ain't no geologian. I guess, although I'm wanting to help Palmer, I'm transfixed in that moment. And then I come to myself and I remember where I am, and I look around me amongst the crates and objects to see whether there's anything that I can throw down to him. But even as I'm doing that, there's a hesitancy that I find, because I remember that room full of idols, and I remember that it's the first time in so many, many months, years even, that I haven't just picked something up and taken it. Sure, since it came down, I did, but in that moment up there, I was so held by this place. I was so held by that lamp going out. It was the lamp going out in the cupboard. Did somebody blow it out? These old houses have drafts. That's where ghosts come from, isn't it? But why would it mention the uniform? It's so specific. The doctor might be mad, of course. It does occur to me that the doctor may be very mad. I've seen mad people before in my time. My mom was mad towards the end. And that's a sadness. The thought that we can't always keep ourselves in our own mind, in our right mind, whatever that might be. But again, sometimes you got to feel that to make the jump. Maybe if you go totally mad, you might make the jump from one side of a gaping maw to the other. Just maybe. But she comes to herself, and she's looking for something like a rope or a curtain that's draped over one of these boxes. Do you think I'm going to roll my luck to see if I can find something like that?
Yeah, let's have a luck roll.
I think I might have failed that. It's so close, I got to check. Sons of guns. Well, that's a fail. There's nothing of any use.
Yeah, you scour the room. There's nothing you can make a decent rope
Well,
out.
nothing that I can reach safely. Maybe there's something on the other side, temptingly.
Oh, yeah. There's a...
A single dust cube.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I mean, how big a jump is that? Because she has been standing there thinking about how big a jump that is.
Desperate to use the jump. I love it.
It's 4 yards.
Easy.
So basically as long as one of my legs.
She steps over it.
Mutant. No, she's not going to jump that. She's not going to jump that. I think she says...
Actually, maybe I'm being unreasonable. Maybe it's more like 3 yards.
Ooh, well, that's doable, isn't it?
For her.
I don't know.
I would have thought so.
I've only got jump 50%. I could dance my way across it, maybe.
3 yards.
Dance 70. Jump.
I mean, you could dance into it.
Yeah, pretty easy. I think I dash back to the doctor. No, I think I say, Sebastian, I'll get the doctor.
Okay.
Wait there.
Yeah, you bet. Is it a luck roll to see if the flashlight in my pocket is broken, or?
No, I think it's probably fine.
Okay. That's me being generous to your crueler instinct.
I was going to say, but that means he wants you to see something.
Yeah, I know. So in which case, I'm like, my knees are fucked, and I'm propped up against the wall. I sort of rolled down the coal or whatever it was, and like kunk into the wall. So is that right? So I want to take the flashlight out of my pocket and get it going, and just scan my immediate vicinity. I assume there's no light except from the dim light from the hole above that I fell through.
Correct, and you didn't get a chance to open the shutters there either.
No, that's right. I was
a bit gloomier in that room.
Yeah. So basically, there's fuck all light. Okay, good.
So there is a door in the north wall, like I said. So you're sort of over to one side, but you could reach it relatively easily. How many hit points have you got left, by the way?
4.
Oh, was that a major wound you took there?
Well, oh God.
Was it more than half your hit?
Well, it was 5.
It's more than half.
So is that a major wound?
Yeah, so you've actually broken
my
your
constitution's quite weak. Fuck.
So you've broken your leg, and can you give me a constitution roll?
I nearly asked, and then I thought, he's a tough character.
Well, he's strong, but the burns and everything and the he's
Another glass cannon.
Another glass cannon. I play glass cannons constantly. Yeah, that's a fail. A bad fail, not a fumble. But
You see the door, and the pain is... As you try to move towards it, that's when you realise your leg's broken, and it's actually excruciating. And you suddenly feel very lightheaded. And you hear Rose walk away to go and get the doctor. And in your blurred vision, you see the door, and you see something coming under it.
oh fuck!
Something moving slow and grey.
Oh no!
Just as everything goes black. This was an Apocalypse Players production. For more information about the podcast, go to apocalypseplayers.com. Thanks for listening.